The decision to charge guidelines, and in particular decision to charge guidelines 2019, gives us an opportunity as prosecutors to continuously review the files, the cases that we prosecute, to ensure that one, that the evidence therein is still sufficient, two, that if there's any mistake that was made at the point of making the decision, that mistake is corrected, three, if the witnesses have since disappeared or are unwilling to come and testify, or basically if the case has changed, then we are able to still make a decision. So what we are doing here today is going into the cases, various cases that are within the Garissa. We are looking at the sexual offenses, how many cases do we have, how many cases do we have with regards to sexual offenses, which are the most prevalent cases within Garissa County, and what have we been doing.
The different types of cases, so an estimate of the number of cases that are here, what are the most, what kind of cases are here, which are prevalent cases. And we've seen the cases like assault are very prevalent. We've also seen that there is a very increased number of defilement cases, and also rape, actually sexual offenses cases are also a lot here at Garissa County.
What's the purpose of this particular entry?
Yes, this is the one that's linked to the Watilifu, and it's going to help us in case management for maybe now and future. In Garissa County, we have 32 active cases on SGBV, that is rape, defilement, gang rape, and incest, and also FGM. So the session basically was to share our experiences to see if we got the decision right. So the first step was to look at the charge sheet. If the charge was properly drafted, then we go through the circumstances of the offense, what we call facts. And we did statement by statement analysis, that is the witness statements and all other documents on record. So there are files where we agreed that the decision was right, and we agreed that the files should proceed up to logical conclusion. There are those where we differed, and we agreed that the cases should be terminated, and some that more investigations need to be done.
The benefit of having different prosecutors from different regions, I am aware that today we are having prosecutor from Wajir, Isiolo, Marsabit, and even Garissa itself also reviewing the cases. What's important is that we're all relying on decision to charge guidelines, which you always say that this decision to charge guidelines must cut across. It does not matter whether you're in Garissa, Marsabit, Isiolo, that decision should be the same. So this is one of the ways where we are able to check the quality of that decision that was made. And for us to be having different prosecutors from different jurisdictions reviewing these files, it just shows that as ODPP, we are united, and we are united in terms of making the decision. Are we looking at the evidentiary test? Did it meet? Are we looking at the public interest test? Did it meet that threshold? And most important, I know some of us are already aware, we have Section 52 of the ODPP Act that calls for the inspectors. So in ourselves, we are able to inspect what we've done to ensure that the quality of the decision that were made by the Garissa officers were therefore the good quality that could have been made by any other prosecutor.
Not every day that the DPP visits a station like Garissa. When it does, particularly on an official function like this, we would like to bring ourselves close to the center where the activity is. When they are there, they also see what is happening. They also benchmark with us on the way we do our stuff, and we hope they pick the good practices. We also pick from those who visit us from the headquarters, and we get the policy aspect of prosecution.
I've seen the things that I should be looking at keenly, and also how to examine the statement before making my decision. And as a station, I think all of us have learned, because all of us as prosecuting counsels who are in Garissa were present during the session, and I believe everyone has carried a lesson or two. So it's a good exercise for the office. We've learned a lot.
Tunaahidi mashtaka yenye haki na usawa.